Well, looks like we're not getting that Khabib Nurmagomedov rematch between Conor McGregor. Looks like that's not happening anytime soon. Conor McGregor ends up getting knocked out by Dustin Poirier in the second round. Not that really shocking. A lot of people are shocked that Conor McGregor got knocked out. I'm not that shocked, dude. Dustin Poirier is one of the best. He might be the best lightweight besides Khabib Nurmagomedov. If you know, in I don't know if he's going to stay retired or not. But besides Khabib, Dustin Poirier has proven that he's the best lightweight in the world. And that division is full of monsters, man. You look at what Michael Chandler did Dan Hooker is a top 10 lightweight. He's a really good fighter. Michael Chandler, former Bellator champion, just went up in there and just knocked him out. You look at Charles Oliveira. Uh, you still got to consider what Tony Ferguson brings to the table. It's just so many guys in that lightweight division. Justin Gaethje. There's so many guys in that lightweight division that you just have to. So many dogs in that division. It's the most stacked division in the UFC. So the fact that Conor McGregor, after a year off, especially fighting in a different weight class in the 170-pound division, and then you took kind of a year off a little bit, that's just not gonna cut out against a fighter like Dustin Poirier. But just talking about this fight real quick. Conor McGregor had a solid first round. He had a solid first round. I had him up in the first round. The one thing that I was a little mad at a little bit was the fact that he just could not. Conor McGregor, he's had such an issue with two things. Number one, it's been those leg kicks. Number two, it's been the takedown. And Dustin Poirier was able to take him down easily. Again, some people, the commentators saying, "Hey, Conor McGregor didn't expect it." Listen, you just never know, man. I mean, when you're in MMA, there's so many fighting disciplines. You gotta expect everything that's coming to you. Again, Conor McGregor, he's had an issue with that his entire career. He's had an issue with that his entire career with with takedowns. So that was the number one thing that got me mad a little bit. The number two thing was he didn't check any of the leg kicks. Did not check any of the leg kicks, man. Conor McGregor is a southpaw, and Dustin Poirier attacked that leg. Now McGregor, he was able to anticipate a lot of those leg kicks, I would say a little bit earlier on, late in the first round, because it became a little bit more predictable. Dustin Poirier, even though I had him losing the first round, because Conor McGregor I feel like was way better than Dustin Poirier in the first round of the stand-up game. Dustin, again, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon, and he was setting those kicks up. He was setting it up. Setting him up, and every time he just kept getting it, you saw his calf muscle just get more red and red and red, and you saw Conor McGregor get a little bit too uncomfortable in that end of the first round. And again, Conor McGregor was able to anticipate more of those leg kicks, but at the same time, every time when Dustin tried to when he kind of whiffed a little bit, or when he faded, Conor McGregor, his knees, I don't know, he started to buckle a little bit. You just saw the uncomfort level that he was going through. And in the second round, when Dustin continued to attack those legs, you just knew that his calf muscle was done. I mean, Conor McGregor, he couldn't really get in his proper stance. His legs started to really twitch a little bit. He just looked so super uncomfortable in the second round. And Conor McGregor was a little bit more aggressive in the second round. He was still the lead guy, but Dustin just he set him up. He set him up perfectly. And by the time Conor McGregor made a mistake, Dustin Poirier was able to go in there. His legs were wobbling. I mean, he couldn't really move. He couldn't really straight. I mean, he was able to dodge a couple of punches, but he really couldn't. He really couldn't move as well as far as dodging those punches like we've kind of seen him do before. I mean, he was just uncomfortable. His legs were shot, and you can't. And again, when you're going against a dog like Dustin Poirier, who's arguably the best boxer in the UFC, he's just going to kill you every time at it. So Dustin Poirier was able to just rattle him, was able to get a good shot at the end of the day, was able to set up some really good combinations, got one good punch, only takes one punch, was able to get one good punch, put Conor McGregor on his ass, and that was the end of the fight. Dustin Poirier, man, arguably the best lightweight besides Khabib. And, I will say this. This was a good fight. This was a good fight. I know people are disappointed that Conor McGregor got knocked out. I know there's a lot of Conor McGregor fans that are disappointed that he got knocked out. I'm a fan. I'm disappointed he got knocked out. But this was a good fight, man. And I like Dustin Poirier. He's a respectable guy. He's a professional. He's a great father. And at the end of the day, I feel like the true winner is definitely the kids, man. The fact that both Conor and Dustin Poirier, they'll be sending a lot of money to the fighting charity foundation. That's going to be really, really cool. I think that's really, really cool at the end of the day. And I do like at the end of the day, both these fighters were very, very professional. Pre-fight during this fight, and especially after the fight. Both these guys were professional, and you could tell that these guys have a mutual respect for each other. But as far as where does this go, where does this take Conor McGregor? Because he got knocked out. Obviously, he is the A side. He still is going to be the A side even after this fight. Where does he go from here? Well, he said he was going to continue to fight, and I don't Conor McGregor. I don't know who he's going to fight. Again, it's a lightweight division. There's a lot of fan favorites there. I mean, Dan Hooker lost, but maybe you can fight Dan Hooker. Maybe there's Tony Ferguson. He's not ready for Charles Oliveira. He's not ready. He's not ready for Charles. He's not ready for Justin, and he's not. And Dustin Poirier. Again, they could run it back a third time. I mean, Conor McGregor knocked him out the first time. Dustin knocked him out the second time. Maybe we can get a trilogy fight. It is 1-1. So that fight is extremely possible, and Dustin said he was open to it. I don't think Dana's letting that shit happen. So I think Conor McGregor, he's definitely going to fight probably one of the lower ranked. He's going to fight one of the lower ranked guys on that list, and we'll see. We'll see what happens in the future for Conor McGregor. But I will say this: you cannot try to stay away from the game for about a year and then try to come back. Can't do that, especially when you're in this division when it's just stacked full of really, really good contenders, even the higher up guys. I mean, you can't do it. So hopefully Conor McGregor can stay active in the fighting game. Maybe he can get a couple of fights. Obviously, we'll see what happens with him. Dustin Poirier, it's clear as day that he deserves the #1 contender shot. Khabib Nurmagomedov is retired. Yes, he is retired. And I don't think Khabib Nurmagomedov is going to be fighting Dustin Poirier again. Khabib, I think the only fight that he was interested in doing was Conor McGregor, and I think that's probably from the payday and for a legacy standpoint. Khabib just wanted to beat him up, get that third, obviously I think that would probably be the end of his career. So Dustin Poirier, I think it should be Dustin Poirier versus Charles Oliveira for the vacant UFC title. Let's get that fight set up. I think that these are the two best lightweights in the division. Let's get that fight set up right now. Well, not right now, but let's get that fight set up in the future. And obviously, I think that will be a phenomenal fight to watch. So, and if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button, share the video, and subscribe. Again, I'm not a UFC analyst, so I know a lot of you guys might kind of criticize me, but I am not a UFC analyst. I'm just giving you guys my take, man. I'm a fan of the sport. I love the sport. And, at the end of the day, we was able to get a good card, man. Michael Chandler knocks out Dan Hooker. Dustin Poirier versus Conor McGregor, we was able to get a good fight, even though Dustin Poirier ended up knocking out Conor McGregor. I just felt like at the end of the day, we got a great pay-per-view fight. And, can't wait for more UFC events. But anyway, the Jan 716, a.k.a. Gen Sports, and I'm out. Peace. Have a good night.